All right, all right, all right. What's good, sports family? I'm gonna be putting a thumbnail up for day two of whatchamacallit of NFL free agency.
NFL free agency.
Let me I'm trying to figure out how do I do this again? Oh wait, man, I'm a clown, bro. I should have realized this. I'm trying to remember how to put a thumbnail up before we get started. Because for some reason when I do it on this, it doesn't let me, which is weird. Even though I'm live right now. Alright, give me 1 second. I should figure this out any second now. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Second. Why am I struggling trying to do this? Oh, there we go. That's why. Oh, bro. Alright. Alright, perfect. Alright, guys. So, as you guys saw, I did a lot of shorts today. I could have done a little bit more because there was one, two, three-ish more players, but towards the end of the night, I was just tired. And there weren't all that. I mean, one was extension, but the other two were free agents. But let's get to what happened earlier today. So if you guys haven't checked out my shorts and my long format, well, my shorts were just today, but my long format video were yesterday's video. I should have done it yesterday, but I was out. But let's talk about today's signing for day two. I'm trying to remember where do I track it. Well, no, 1 day ago. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find where it is. Okay, there we go. 12 hours ago. Okay, where are you? Trying to think. The first video I did was which first video was Mike. Oh no, not Mike. No. It was Giants quarterback. Okay, Giants quarterback. Sorry if I'm being a little bit delayed right now. Giants cornerback. Do you have any questions about the free agents, whatever? Where you want me to ask me anything that happened? Let me know while I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be starting first. Where is the Giants logo? All right, let me see. Let me see. Oh, we go down. That was yesterday. Um, why did I think the Giants? Well, the Giants did sign someone, but it must have been on the other profile that I had it locked in. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so let's get started. Giants, they signed former Jaguars cornerback Greg Newsome to a 1 year deal worth $10 million. The reason why they wanted to go after him because he won the, I guess, only top available free agent honestly in that position. That's good. So they needed to upgrade the cornerback position. They didn't really get dialed in as much as they should before, but then getting him for a 1 year $10 million deal, they're gonna see how he does. I know Jacksonville, he wasn't the greatest, but he had his moments. So it's okay signing. As for the other signing, let's start with let's start with Bills tight end Dawson Knox, a 3 year contract with the team. So what has happened is that Dalton Knox had like a really big contract, and they want to rework it because they're trying to add that extra money into um what you call it into like other stuff. So that's why. I figured it out. There we go. But that's why they want to do it. They want to use that extra money on like other assets like the offensive line, defensive line, depending on what they want to do with the money. But it's not major. It's just they had to rework the contract. The Lions they signed running back Isaiah Pacheco to a deal, and this is the deal they signed with him. If you haven't checked out a long format video, go check it out. I talk more detail about this, but they signed him to I think a 1 year deal, something I say like that. A 1 year deal, like cheap, like 15 million or something like that. the reason why they want to try to fill in that hole for running back number two behind Jameer Gibbs to replace David Montgomery, since David Montgomery was traded to the Houston Texans, and they're trying to find someone, and they found him. This one, I wasn't really a big fan of it because I mean, he's quick, I guess you want to say, some people say, but I feel like it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade from David Montgomery. David Montgomery's more healthy. He's more of a ground and pound. Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco is, but he gets injured fast. And the fact that David Montgomery is very reliable. Like reliable, even in Chicago he's reliable. But having Isaiah is kind of like he's always injured. He's not as like gritty as David Montgomery, which you'd be kind of worried. And the fact that like in the backfield, he doesn't just take his time and look for a hole. He just runs. Like slow down. Like you want to see where you're supposed to go and run through it. How a lot of running backs do. He doesn't do that. He just runs right through it, and that's why he doesn't really do that well. Um, I just don't like it for the Lions. I think that was their only option because if they traded for another player or whatnot, they're gonna ruin their defense, ruin one of their offense, and they don't want to do that. That's why they went after him. But I would have gotten someone else. I would have risked like a Joe Mixon. He's supposed to be released. I would have went after him. He's more reliable compared to him. I know his injury, but he gave you a similar to David Montgomery in a way. Um, Honestly, I would have done David. I would have done him honestly, but kicker for the Houston Texans, Kami Farbarn signed a 2-year, $13 million deal. He was doing amazing last year with the Texans. I think he missed like only one field goal that saved like a 50 something yardage or 60 something yardage, something like that. But he was like sharp. Even towards the end of the season, he was like kicking like bombs. I'm like, yo, how do you do that? Like, it was impressive, but definitely deserved an extension. Uh, Pretty much making him the highest kicker in the NFL right now. Now, next one I would say is uh, Texans signed former Colt offensive tackle Brandon Smith to a 2-year, $25 million deal with a 13.5 million fully guaranteed. So this is perfect for the Texans. CJ Stroud's going to get hammered last year. A lot of these teams are focusing on offensive lines a lot because, as you see, getting hit a lot is not happy whatsoever, no matter if you're a quarterback or a running back. But having him on the team is perfect for the Texans. uh, he honestly is a really good veteran player. Been with the Colts for a while. I think he was in another team before that, but he's honestly truly a professional. By the way, if you're jumping in, like, comment, subscribe. You know, more sports content, more football, NFL, basketball content. But as you see, we're doing NFL free agency day two. Now, back to Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith. He was a 2-year, $25 million deal. So good. Upgrade the offensive line for CJ Stroud. And now the Jets. The Jets. My team, the Jets. If you guys haven't checked out my Geno Smith video, I made that a while ago, well, a couple hours ago. Um, and pretty much the Jets are trading with the Raiders for Geno Smith. It really nice with the organization that drafted him. So the Jets swap a sixth and seventh round pick with the Raiders. So like the Jets have a seventh and the Raiders have the sixth, so they're gonna. Well, my bad. The Jets have the sixth. The Raiders have the seventh. Wait, no. The Jets have the sixth. The Raiders have the seventh pick, and they swap those picks, and then the Jets get Geno Smith. That's it. Um, they were gonna cut him, but they ended up just trading him. Yeah, because they haven't officially processed everything yet, so that's why they're doing this. But after decades of apart, for four other teams he was on, he's now back with the Jets, a full circle moment. As you know, time the Jets was not pretty. I think the last time the Jets had a good season was back in 2015. I think that's when we had Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall, like a positive record. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. Yeah, and we had a good team, but we sadly lost. Embarrassing. Uh, well, I know maybe that was 2017. Oh, something like that. But he comes back. I really don't know what the Jets are doing. It's very confusing because it looks like they're trying to rebuild and be competitive, but not. You really don't know. You really, really don't know. But I gotta see more from the free agency market, see what else they do. They look like they'll be competitive, cool. But it's very confusing. Now, New England Patriots. A lot of people were saying the Patriots were going to get like all these really good wide receivers. Alex Pierce, Olave, I think it was, AJ Brown. No, the number one option wide receiver it looks like going to be, yeah, Romeo Dobbs signing a 4 year, $70 million deal. They just pulled a Miami Heat move. Well, they actually, well, yeah, or a Laker move. Well, a Miami Heat move. Because Miami said they're going to get someone, and they don't get someone. Supposed to be KD, supposed to be Kyrie, supposed to be Damian Lillard at one point. And the Patriots end up getting Romeo Dobbs as their number one wide receiver. Well, you can say two or three because the other wide receiver might even outperform him. My bad. So it looks like it really does look like he might be number two on the depth chart because I feel like the other wide receiver has better connection with their quarterback Drake May. Uh, so yeah, yeah. See what happened. But interesting thing about the Patriots that's really bad. Now there's other speculation that Carson Wentz might be with the Jets organization. Uh, Pretty much, the Jets are trying to have multiple veteran quarterbacks to compete one another in the off season to see who's going to take the job. And if it's Geno Smith and Carson Wentz, I'm okay with it being better than Justin Fields. I'll say that. And also, what's his name? Zach Wilson. Better than them too. I'll say that. But I want to compete, bro. I want this team to go back to the playoffs. I'm tired of this. That's why it took such a long period of not watching the Jets. Like, I think I started watching the Jets again back in, I think back in like 2022, 2023. Yeah, that's when I started watching the Jets again because I didn't watch the Jets for about from 2013 to like 2022. I know I'm such an unloyal fan, but I was just sick of them, bro. I was just tired of them, bro. Because it was like the same thing over and over and over. I need to take a break. It was annoying. But I'm back. I'm still trying to support, but now the Jets also signed quarterback Nashawn Wright on a 1 year, $5.5 million deal. Some of the people will be like, "Come on, really?" Honestly, though, I like this. I know in the past he did not have a good season. He barely played. He didn't really start. But with Wright, he had a pretty good season last year. Uh, Pretty much, he had like about 5 interceptions, 11 tackles for loss, something like that. You know, so he had a Pro Bowl season as well. So you can see something in him. Plus, he's young. He's not like he's old. So you can see if he does do well again this year, definitely could be the future for the Jets defensive corner, which I like this. He has something. He's 6'4", long wingspan. He definitely can get the tackle. I like it. Got the chill just thinking about that. Ooh, I just feel a good thing about him. When we get that energy, you're like, oh, okay, I think I like this. But yeah, the Browns signed Pro Bowl offensive line Eltong Jenkins, 2 year, $24 million deal. This one, good signing. Browns finally did something. I don't even think they even do other moves besides this, but good signing. He can switch different positions, right tackle, left guard. You put him, he can do the job. A perfect way to not confuse the coaching staff, because a lot of times some of these offensive line are just like, this is my position, I'm not going nowhere. But with him, they're able to put him wherever he wants. And for some reason, they're versing a team that's very heavy on defense. He can definitely play left guard and right guard. If something happens, it's perfect, and I like that. Which is a good move for the Browns to do that. Finally, something smart. Gotta do that. Now, for the Packers, they signed wide receiver Sky Moore. Now, since one other player left already, which you guys may know, Sky Moore, it looks like the Packers may not use him for wide receiver, but maybe because you see his stats from wide receiver last year with the 49ers, he had like 87 yards. That's nothing. But if for some reason he can most definitely if he does get the ball more and does play more wide receiver, then we'll see. But I haven't seen a whole lot from out of him. He has a lot of speed, I'll say that. But so I can see him maybe be a deep threat, but I'm not really sure. Sorry about those bothering me. I think I'm getting sick. But yeah, I just don't know. I feel like they're mainly signing him because of a punt return, kickoff return. Because if you saw him with a punt return and kickoff return, he was really good. He had over 900 yards, and the fact that you know he did get a touchdown, I think, if I'm correct on that, like 78 yards, something like that. That might be wrong, but 900 something yards in like 11 games or something like that. Like it was pretty good. So definitely will be used for a punt return, kickoff return, depending on how they want to put him. Next one, the Saints are signing linebacker Caden Ellis to a 3-year, $33 million deal. This one, the Saints pretty much regret on this because the Saints had him in the past and they didn't really view him as like, oh, because he was still developing, still coming to the league, got drafted by the team, and all of a sudden they saw him in Atlanta and all, and they're like, whoa, we want him. And he honestly a really good player, can get the tackle, can move around, can be a really good leader. Something that the Saints definitely want to replace for Demario Davis. So, and he's younger too, a bit younger. Yeah, a lot younger, I would say, because Demario Davis is like 37. So, yeah, a lot younger, I want to say. But good move. Now, the Eagles, they signed cornerback Tyreek Woolen to a 1 year, $15 million. 15 is kind of a lot for 1 year. But as you know, that's how it is nowadays. Yeah, spend a lot to get when you want to get. But with Woolen last year, he was a little bit inconsistent. But with him, if he can bounce back, a steal for the Eagles. A steal. Um, you know, but that to be bounced back. You can't just bet on this. Oh yeah, no, you never know. System might be different. Might not feel comfortable in Philadelphia. Different media market. Anything can happen. But let's hope he bounces back because that'll be a really really good player for the Eagles. And then free agent linebacker Leo Chanel. I guess Chanel like Chanel bag. I think that's all. Signed a 3-year, $24 million deal with the Commanders. Yes, the Commanders. So the reason why the Commanders wanted him is that he's not only a two-time Super Bowl champion, but the fact that he has a lot of experience and that he can actually have a full job for the Commanders. Commanders need help with the linebacker position. Yeah, they got some aging linebackers here and there, but they want a more polished one, and that's him. Now, these are a couple of other ones. Wow, not a lot today. Interesting. Uh, Steelers. About 4 hours ago, I didn't do this. I didn't talk about this earlier when I made my YouTube shorts. But Cameron Hayward, uh, had a contract extension with the Steelers at $32.25 million, including a $16.25 million fully guaranteed. As you know, he's been with the organization for years, and you lock him up long term, still a reliable defensive guy. And the Giants signed fullback Patrick Richard, a 2-year deal making him the highest paid fullback in the entire NFL. Well, with these like kickers and fullbacks, like no offense, but why you pay so high? I mean, you do. I mean, I get it. You know, I get it. Like some of them do a lot, but in a way, like you would see from a quarterback or from a running back or a wide receiver, but the highest pay for a fullback and a kicker. Interesting. And yes, both on the Giants. No, actually, the punter and a fullback. Crazy. Uh, and then the Cowboys signed free agent Sam Howell, quarterback. Yeah. So just a quarterback, nothing major. Sam Howell barely even played too, so we don't have to really talk about him that much. Not gonna play that much, but just know this: we had a breaking news earlier. If you guys haven't checked out my YouTube shorts on IG and all, Max Crosby has been going back to Las Vegas. And you know the reason why? It's physical. Yeah, it's physical. So the injuries that he had last year played an effect of this trade. So he went to Baltimore. He showed up. If you saw his IG story, he was showing that he was in Baltimore. And He went to a physical at the organization of the Ravens facility, and he didn't pass. So now it looks like Baltimore is going to be rerouting what they're going to do next, and I really would have liked him to be with the Baltimore Ravens. Definitely would have liked him, but it looks like the Ravens are definitely going to be going towards sounds like Trey Hendrickson. So they text the GM and pretty much said we're going to go all in on Trey Henderson. That sounds like. So look for Baltimore to definitely go after Trey Henderson because they definitely need to, focus on that easily. I know you can say Trey Henderson or Max Crosby. I kind of rather want Max Crosby, but he's much more injury prone, and I can see why the Ravens don't want to risk it. Because Trey Henderson, yeah, he might be a little bit less talented compared to him, but he's much more healthy and he's still talented though. So I guess you can steal with him. I mean, I'm fine with it, either one. But oh, man, if you had both of them, oh, that would be nasty. Be one of the best duos in the league, honestly. But we'll see what happens. I feel like Trey Henderson might be definitely be in Baltimore. They're trying to be more aggressive to sign him. He wants a $30 million deal, so something like that, a year or something. It's a crazy amount. So we'll see. Not a lot of teams want to give him that much. But back to Max Crosby. It sounded like the Cowboys are still interested in Max Crosby. If you guys haven't known, the Cowboys offer a first round, a second round pick for Max Crosby. So I don't know how that the whole physical works. I feel like it all depends on the team wants to risk it. I don't think it's like the NFL standard. Like if they don't pass it, they don't do it. I don't know, but it sounds like this is what last week Raiders rejected the following offer from Dallas. The Raiders received Asa. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's a defensive tackle, a first round pick, the number 12 pick, and the 2027 second round pick. And the Cowboys received Max Crosby. I would have honestly, if I was going to reroute that once again, I would do it if I was the Raiders because you don't need Max Crosby. You're trying to rebuild. You get something out. You get a defensive tackle, and then you get 2 draft picks, which I know is not 2 firsts, but you get a player, so it helps some way or another. Um, I mean, what other team to give you a first and a second? Not a lot of teams are going to do that. I wish my Jets could. That'd be nice, but they're not going to do it. I know them. But also, oh no, I already talked about that. Um, oh, wow. So this is what I saw right here. We're almost done, guys. By the way, it's pretty quick one today. Not a lot of free agents signed. It's only a small amount, which I was surprised. I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna do a lot of shorts, not a lot. And I'm so like, wow, it's pretty easy today. But uh, not only did the Ravens back out acquiring Max Crosby, but they've already lost 8 free agents so far. They are likely Patrick Richards to Giants, both of them to the Giants. Tyler Linderbaum, Raider. Draymond Jones, Patriots. Charlie Kohler, Chargers. Aloha Gilliman, Chiefs. Jordan Stout, Giants. Adarius Washington, Giants. And then there are 2 moves Baltimore has made. We signed quarterback Tyler Huntley and signed offensive guard John Simpson. Yeah, he must be in a lot of pressure right now. It's crazy. Like, come on, man. Um, but I'll tell you this about Max Crosby. Agent, he stated Max continued to be on track on his recovery, and if anything is ahead of schedule, according to his surgeon, Dr. Neil E. Max remained on track to return during the offseason program and will undoubtedly return as the dominant game wrecker he has been these past 7 seasons. So we're not sure what's going to happen next. It sounds like Max Crosby is definitely going to be playing. We're just not sure which team. And also, he reposted on his IG story too. So he must have been a little disappointed about this too, because he was looking for it to be a Baltimore Raven. That would have been clean. That city would be wilding with him on it. Ooh. But yeah, guys, that's it for NFL Free Agency Day 2. This one's much shorter. I kind of extended talk about Max Crosby. It could have been like 20 minutes, maybe like 19 or 18. But yeah, if you have any questions about any of the free agents, if you want me to reply, let me know in the comments. If not, I'm going to log off right now. It's almost 12 o'clock at night. But yeah, these free agents, interesting. Yesterday, the Titans made a lot of moves. The Rams made a good amount of moves. The Raiders made a lot of moves. So you see a lot of these teams trying to be competitive. Now the Raiders, they made a lot of good moves, but now Max Crosby's back, and it's a little shaky. They're not sure. It's kind of hard for them right now. They were not expecting this at all. So we'll see what happens. But Titans are trying to compete. I feel like it's not like doing a lot of moves to be competitive for once. Finally, they're doing a lot of free agent stuff. They barely do nothing. They barely do one or two. And the Rams trying to be competitive once again, trying to fix that defense up. What else? What else? The Browns really haven't done that much. It's like, but yeah, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about day 2 free agents. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.